Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Cloud Ops Central. My name is James, and you can catch me at cloudopscentral.net as well as jamesteam.info. You can also look at my portfolio, and I have a GitHub at github.com/Cloud Ops Central. Today, we're going to be talking about VPC, designing a highly available VPC with EC2 instances. Now, we are going to be using a public and a private subnet across two availability zones. The reason we are doing this in this particular way is for high availability, one, which we already mentioned, two, redundancy, and then three, security. We always want to make sure that we are secure. So please, let's go ahead and log into our AWS console, and you can go to the main web page if you want. I went ahead, went to the VPC. That's where we're going to start. Your front page might look like this. It might not, depending on where you are in your account setup, as well as how many recently visited sites inside of AWS you've been to. So let's go ahead and get started with our VPC. Now, there are actually 5 steps to setting up a VPC. Step number 1 is you have to create the VPC, and along with step number 1, you could say part 1B or possibly a part 2, is making sure that you have an IP address block for the network partitions. The third step is a subnet partition segments. Fourth step, an internet gateway to bridge the VPC to the internet. And number 5 is connecting a route table that directs VPC traffic flow. Now, we are going to go ahead and create a VPC with a CIDR block of 10.0.0.0/16 to contain all of our Amazon resources. And 10.0.0.0/16 is a Class A network. Class B starts at the 172, and by default, that is where Amazon likes to put their default VPC. And you might say, well, James, why can't I just use the default VPC? And certainly you can use it if you want. We're not going to use it. We're actually going to just go ahead and delete it today. So let's go ahead and delete this. We're going to click on it, and we're going to go up to Actions and delete VPC. It will tell us it's going to delete all the subnets and the internet gateway, and that's going to be okay. We're going to say yes. And then notice it says to confirm deletion, type delete default VPC into the field. Actually, it's easier for me just to copy and paste and say delete. After a couple seconds, half a minute or so, it will be deleted. Don't forget, as of right now, I am behind a very slow internet connection. I am behind a great firewall. I won't be behind it for too much longer. But just put up with me if there's a little bit of latency, because I am working in the North Virginia region, even though I'm 7,000 miles away. So you might say, well, what happens if I want my default VPC back? Can I get it? The answer is yes. You wouldn't want to create a VPC. You would go to Actions and create your default VPC. And when you click that, it will bring back the routing table, the internet gateway, and your subnets. And in North Virginia, inside of a VPC, there are 6 available subnets. Today, we are only going to create 4. So let's go ahead and click on Create a VPC. We want a VPC only. We don't want VPC or more. And for this, we're just going to call it Demo VPC. And again, remember the CIDR block of 10.0.0.0. Don't type the dot, hit the /16. We don't want an IPv6 at this time, and in order to avoid cost, because everything is on the free tier, we are going to do a default tenancy and then click Create My VPC. And what we have officially done is we have created the VPC along with the original IP address for the network partition. And so far, everything looks good. We've successfully created the VPC. So let's go ahead and get ready for the next step, which, if you recall, the next step is to create our 4 subnets. 2 of those will be a public subnet in each availability zone, or in 2 different availability zones. And we will also have 2 private subnets in those same availability zones. So let's go ahead and get started setting those up. We want to come over here to subnets. It says we have 6 available, but when we refresh, it'll take all those out because those were from the default VPC. Let's go ahead and click create a subnet, and we want to choose our demo VPC that we just created. Now, there is a way we can do this pretty much all in one time. We're going to say demo VPC dash subnet 1, the availability zone. We're going to do this in US East 1A. And if you notice right here, where it says /16, remember, we were going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 with a 24. So let's go ahead and create our first one, which is 10.0.1.0/24. Notice when we do 24, it says we have 256 IPs available. If we did 25, we would have 128. If we did something, say, like 20, because we still have use for that, there would be 4,096, but we don't need that many for right now, so let's just go ahead and do 24 to get our 256. Now, we'll copy this IP address just to make it easier for us, and don't click this yet, create new subnet, or create subnet. Let's add a new subnet. Let's go ahead and post this in the bottom, and let's change that one to number 2, and we can copy this one right here, demo VPC subnet number 1, and let's go subnet number 2, and in this one we're going to go to AZ1B. Everything looks good. We're going to add a new subnet. Oh, we don't want it there. We want it here. And this one, we're going to put private subnet 1. Up here, we could have listed these public, but it doesn't make a difference. We can go ahead and label this one and do private subnet number 2. And we want this one in 1A and this one in 1B. Remember, we're going to have one in each region. Let me make sure I select the right one. We want to get our IP address, our CIDR, and remember these are going to be 3 and 4. So let's go to this one and do number 3, and this one and do number 4. Then confirm everything looks okay. Everything seems to be okay. I don't see any issues right now. I got my private. And let's do, just to be on the safe side, let's go ahead and put down public on these. And again, right here, we'll do public. And then come to the bottom and create your subnet. I had paused the recording for just a moment. Sorry about that. But you can see my 4 subnets are created. I have public subnet number 1, public subnet number 2, private subnet number 1, and private subnet number 3. And as you can see, they're all in a row, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they are labeled correctly, 1, 2, 1, 2, in the availability zones where they're supposed to be, 1A, 1B, 1A, 1B. And you said, well, James, it told me that we were going to create 256 IP addresses. How come we only have 251? And the reason for that is that Amazon takes 5 of the subnet addresses of the available IP addresses in the subnet for its own personal use. All right, so now that we have that done, let's look at the next step. It says we need to attach an internet gateway to the VPC. This ensures internet access redundancy for public subnets. I'm not so sure about redundancy because we're not going to set up 2 of them. We're only going to set up 1. But let's go back and let's go to Internet Gateway. Again, sorry for the delay. Okay, now that that is up to date, let's go ahead up to the top and we are going to create an Internet Gateway. And let's go ahead and name this one Demo VPC Gateway, or just to be on the better side, IGW, Internet Gateway. And you might say, well, is that it? And that's absolutely it. Let's go ahead and create Internet Gateway, but there is one more step after this, because notice it says it was created. You can now attach a VPC to enable the VPC to communicate to the internet. So let's go ahead and we can click here, or we can go here, attach to VPC, choose the VPC, and attach Internet Gateway. And if we were to go ahead and create 2 instances, would they be able to connect to the internet? At this particular time, they would not be able to connect to the internet because we need one more thing. We need to update the routing table to make sure that we can get a public IP address or get out. So let's go to routes and we're going to edit routes. We're going to add a route and we're going to say 0.0.0.0/0, and we are going to go to our internet gateway and click Save Changes. Oh, so sorry. I forgot to select the right internet gateway. Now I can save changes, and now we can get out to the internet. So let's go ahead and create our instances. I am just going to create one at this particular time. I'm going to call it Demo EC2. I'm going to go ahead and put it into the public subnet. I'm going to stick with Amazon Linux. I want the free tier. Again, free tier on the instance type. I already have a key pair. It goes with my Cloudflix program, but I'll go ahead and use it. And notice the auto assign public IP address is disabled. I want to go ahead and enable it. So I am going to click Edit. I want to enable it. And we can do the default security group. We do have SSH capability, so I can go ahead and do that. Or if I was going to use this as a website, I could go ahead and add a security group rule. And let's say that I wanted something like HTTP traffic. I don't have a specific IP address right now, so I'm going to use the default IP address or the wide open, which isn't a good idea, but at this particular time, we'll go ahead and do that. And we get free 8 gigabytes with GP3 storage, 3000 input outputs, root volume, not encrypted. I don't care about encrypting it at this particular time. And then we can actually just launch our instance. It'll take a half a moment. We are going to SSH into it once it's ready to go, and I will be back. All right, let's check our instance to see if it's ready. It's still initializing. We're not ready yet. You can check it. But one of the things that you are going to need is you are going to need your command prompt. So we can go ahead and get it ready. And once it is initialized, the process will tell us what to do next. But let's go back to our PPT, and we made the route table. Public subnet route tables point to the internet gateway. Private subnet tables point to a NAT gateway if you want internet access, but we don't want that. And each subnet is explicitly associated with a route table. We're not going to worry about that right now because we're only going to do one EC2 instance. I will build the rest later and show you something else in another video. So let's check on our instance, see if it's ready. It's still initializing. It could take up to 2 to 3 minutes. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. Again, I am sitting behind the Great Firewall temporarily, and hopefully after about a month, my videos won't be such a hassle to make, and things will be going much smoother and much faster. I will now pause the video, and when it's ready, I will join you again. Okay, it's finally ready, so we are going to SSH into it. I went ahead, typed the command already, just to be on the safe side. You can choose SSH-I, and I've already showed you how to do this before. You want to put your security key in brackets, EC2-user, since it is an Amazon Linux machine, and we look at the public IP address. Hit the enter key. Sometimes it'll give you a message saying that you need to accept it. I already accepted it just to make sure everything works. And I am into the machine, and I can say, who am I? I'm the EC2 user. All right, so everything is working now. If I had created another instance in the private subnet, I could actually SSH into it and treat this EC2 instance as a bastion host. So today we did create our subnet. If you like this video, we created our VPC along with the subnet. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And remember, I am James at cloudopscentral.net as well as jamesking.info. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.